A lot of good that does for any of you planning to spend the holidays in a brand new heart of the downtown area tonight. Another San Jacinto Plaza letdown. And most of you are not happy about it, and you're sharing your opinion with us. Also, while the city is bound to feel the backlash of that top story, one city rep is breathing a sigh of relief just days after talks of a petition to get him removed from office. ABC-7 is still following the story out of the county courthouse that came to an end today with the latest developments in the Lisbeth murder trial. We spoke with a man who helped put his mom and brother away for murder. Nicole?
Light rain moved through the borderland today. Are we expecting more rain tonight? What about your weekend forecast? I'll have that answer in Storm Track weather.
Looking good. It's all next on ABC-7 at 9. Get ready. You become part of the day's news right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Hello, everybody. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the CW. I'm Bob Harp. Your top stories and what you're saying about them coming up in just a bit. But first, I could just run across the studio and hug you, Nicole. We missed you.
I missed you too.
Hey, look, good to have the team back together, right? Partners in crime, if you will. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, thank you. But our forecast looks much better than it has for the past few days. I haven't been here, but I've still been tracking the storms. So, right. So coming up, we're going to take a closer look at Doppler radar, and we're in for a chilly night tonight. So we'll take a look at temperatures and what you can expect tomorrow morning coming up in just a bit.
Okay, Nicole, and get ready for our top story for this one, all right? We're already talking about Christmas. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, some El Pasoans feeling like they just got a lump of coal in their stocking. It's not even Halloween yet. And we have all seen the construction at El Paso's San Jacinto Plaza. And then more construction. And yes, even more construction. Month after month, delay after delay. The newly renovated plaza was initially scheduled to be finished last November. Then after numerous delays, this year's celebration of lights was supposed to be the grand unveiling.
We're waiting right now to get it finished. Our primary objective right now is to get the project completed, and we're working with the lawyers and with the contractor to make sure that happens.
Any question about whether San Jacinto Plaza would be ready for the holidays was answered today. Remember, it used to look like this during the holidays. Oh, the familiar plaza with the real Christmas tree and the Christmas joy hanging in the air, all warm and cozy on a cold night, right? Okay, well, the city now says the celebration of lights will look like this for the third consecutive year over at Cleveland Square. So the new San Jacinto Plaza won't be ready. And this year marked the 100th anniversary of the plaza. And the city reps, Peter Schwartzbein and Carl Robinson, saying they didn't even know about the decision to return to Cleveland Square until ABC-7's Darren Hunt told them about it.
It's just really, disappointing kind of what's happening, and you can see that people here aren't happy with it.
I know many of us were looking forward to having that done, but unfortunately it's not ready. And there's still outside possibility that we may be able to get the park completed.
Well, as you just heard, Robinson and some other reps still holding out hope for San Jacinto Plaza to be ready for the celebration of lights. But we learned from the city today it's expected to be done at the very end of the year. But we do know the celebration is at the beginning of December, so that gives El Pasoans and everybody else around several weeks to celebrate the holidays. By the way, city spokesman Martin Bartlett telling us not to count on it being ready before the celebration. Okay, it's the story that has you lighting up our Facebook page. I had to use that one. You got to hear the comments you're sharing with us tonight coming up in just a bit. First, though, a lot of other headlines new today. El Paso City Rep Larry Romero is off the hook. ABC-7 worked earlier today to confirm the reports that the petition to have that city rep face a recall election was dropped, so no more petition. The county clerk's office is not telling us, though, why the man behind the petition changed his mind and decided to drop it. A 15-year-old Canutillo High School student allegedly threatened to kill his teacher this afternoon. El Paso police saying the teacher was reprimanding the boy and another student about suspected marijuana use. The student allegedly verbally assaulted the teacher, and police say she later found him in the hallway cutting his arms with a knife, and that is when the teacher ran back into the classroom and called security.
I had heard some rumors some kid was trying to stab somebody or something like that. I didn't really want to believe it.
This kid needed medical attention and they called the ambulance and they just put us in lockdown because they didn't want a lot of students walking around.
Well, I mean, there's nothing we can do about stuff like that. It happens all the time, and I think that was probably the best thing they could do was to put us all in lockdown to make sure that nobody else was endangered.
The boy has some injuries to his arm. We're told he was taken to Las Palmas Hospital, and he's supposed to make a full recovery, but he will be charged with a terroristic threat, a punishment for what he said and his threats intended action. All right, it's only been a few hours since Elizabeth Garrett learned that she will spend the rest of her life in prison, and her youngest son, who helped convict her and his older brother of murder, tells us he's relieved by the punishment and the verdict. Now, the former Eastwood High School teacher was sentenced to 45 years for beating and stabbing her husband, Army Major Chester Garrett. That happened back in 1977. Her older son, Roger, Chester's stepson, helped her do it. And now he is also serving a 40-year prison sentence. He was sentenced 2 years ago. Now, the couple's biological son, Roger's younger brother, Patrick, finally told police what happened in 2013, saying that his brother admitted to it in the early 1990s, and that put an end to the East El Paso cold case.
This is very bittersweet. I mean, it really is. It's been a long time coming, and I'm thankful for the prosecution, and I'm also thankful for my friends and family for hanging in there. And there's not too much else I can say except that justice was served for my father, this is the main thing. This is what it was all about.
The jury got it right. They were very quick, both on guilt and punishment. And you know, it's really been a long time coming.
Well, tonight you are sharing your thoughts about this case on our social media network. On Facebook tonight, James is telling us, look at her demeanor. She doesn't care. There's no way she'll serve the entire sentence, but she'll be locked up the rest of her days. And Zaw is saying 38 years later, this is stupid. Lori saying, in other words, free assisted living for her. And Irma telling us tonight, I guess when you think you got away with it, ... or ellipsis. All right, tell us what you have to say about this case coming up on our Facebook page or right now. In the meantime, our New Mexico mobile newsroom getting the mugshot of that Las Cruces car wash worker accused of murdering a customer. Police saying 57-year-old Leo Molina shot the man during an argument. Molina was also hurt, as you can see in this picture, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what happened to him. Well, the shooting happened yesterday morning at North Valley Drive and Hadley, again in Las Cruces. 39-year-old Gregory Cleto Fernandez, who was shot, died at the hospital later that day. We also have an update on last night's train crash out in Fabens. This is the one that happened at about 8:30 last night on 4th Street there. We had this story at 10 as breaking news, and since then, our round-the-clock news crew got this video from the scene and details on what reportedly happened. Well, sheriff's investigators are saying the driver got stuck when his car broke down on the railroad tracks. We're told the train was already slowing down when it hit the car. Both the driver and the passenger inside are expected to be okay. All right, thank goodness for the warm-up during the daytime hours anyway. It's a little bit chilly outside if you haven't been out there, but we really cannot take our minds off of this. A viewer named Debbie Pepion recorded this video for us up in Las Cruces yesterday. Now check out the flooding there that she caught on video at the New Mexico State University campus. The hail and the rain just ruining the day for a lot of Aggies, no doubt, especially those who had to drive to campus. Our New Mexico mobile newsroom crew spent the day today on campus where a lot of cars had hail damage, hundreds of them. To give you more perspective, we sent our camera crew there so you can see it for yourself. Now, the insurance companies, no doubt, are getting a bunch of damage claims.
So I saw it just pouring down from the windows, and you could hear it in the skylights. It was intense. I was borrowing my in-laws' car, so I feel just so awful that it happened to their vehicle. And yeah, it was kind of scary actually. And afterwards I walked down and I picked up a piece of hail, and it was probably about as big as a 50-cent piece. It was pretty big.
Well, our ABC-7 First Alert coverage let you know when the storm was coming days before it hit. Then we took you through the chaos live on air and on social media as that storm just unleashed on us. And now we continue with the aftermath from Doña Ana County back down here in El Paso.
I've been in business for 10 years here in El Paso, and I've never seen it hail this much in such a short time, you know? I mean, so this is unheard of, especially late in the season.
Well, this auto repair shop owner is working overtime to get damaged cars fixed. He's telling us the storms this month have him booked through next year. our Josie Ortegon's story coming up a little bit later in this newscast. In the meantime, that first alert coverage is over because we're no longer in a first alert mode, if you will, here at ABC-7. Nicole, nicer days out there. The daytime hours, it was great.
Much better today, and even nicer weather tomorrow into your weekend as well. But
Good.
temperatures were a little cooler today at the El Paso International Airport. We hit the 70s. Temperatures will be a little warmer tomorrow, but we have to get through tonight and tomorrow morning. So make sure you grab that jacket as you plan your day because it will be a chilly start. But again, we hit 72 degrees at the El Paso International Airport. Our average high around this time of year, 76, so we were a little below average. This morning we were sitting in the 50s. We also did pick up some light rain today in northeast El Paso, Cielo Vista Elementary School, 0.02. And notice on our clouds and radar picture just a few thin clouds moving through the region, but it is nice tonight. So coming up in your full forecast, as I mentioned, it will be chilly, so make sure you have your jacket as you plan your day tomorrow. But temperatures will warm up throughout the afternoon, mild and dry, and we're in for a very nice weekend as well. But we'll talk about those details in your full forecast. Bob?
All right, thanks so much, Nicole. And speaking of the weather, we can take you outside to show you the roads are dry right now. This is a look at I-10 and Executive. Keep in mind there is another closure on the eastbound side of I-10. This will be from about the downtown area all the way to Copia, which is where you are forced to get off of the freeway and then get back on if you're headed east. But remember, it's always tricky if you live in the northeast because you have to go up Copia and then find your way to Montana and then back onto 54. So just be aware, you don't want to be caught in that mess. It never fails, Nicole. Last night we told you about it and I drove right into it again. I just cannot break the habit of driving home the same way every night, right? Hey, let's get back to our top story, Nicole. For many of us here in the borderland, Christmas in the San Jacinto Plaza, that family tradition, right? This is a celebration of lights that goes back 80 years. It attracts thousands of people who brave the cold temps to watch the floats, the cars, the trucks, all the people in the parade, and of course Santa go through the streets of downtown El Paso. If you are just joining us, you know, this year was supposed to be the grand unveiling of the new San Jacinto Plaza, which is now a year past its completion date for renovation. It was announced today. That's not going to happen. It's going to be at the Cleveland Square yet again. And remember the days when it was a real Christmas tree. Nicole, why don't you jump on here and share some of the comments from home, or the people at home.
Lupita says, ugh, 3 years and nothing. Sultan says, it's the same thing every year. And John with, how can they build a whole stadium in 1 year but can't finish a little park?
Come on, that's a good point. I'm sorry,
I
just have to say that.
And Rosala says, the plaza is not making money. The stadium is. So, well, that's true too. That is why they finished it in 1 year. And Jenny says, when I pass by the plaza, the tree looks so sad.
Hey, remember, I got to jump in here real quick. Depending on which tree they're talking about, Nicole, because the fake one that's like a light pole or a flagpole with string lights, I've heard a lot of people saying, what is that? It's not really a tree, right? But then the real tree that we're talking about, remember, the whole renovation of the San Jacinto Plaza to begin with is what almost killed the real tree that has been there for a long time, the big giant tree that we use. Thankfully, though, the city stepped in, caught the mistake, and they did some root treatment, I understand, and saved that tree. So hopefully it's on the up and up. I just had to jump in regarding that comment.
Yeah, hopefully. But let's get back to some more of your comments. Angela says, that's El Paso for you. And Ruben, get rid of the contractor. Margaret says, breaking news. Tree lighting ceremony canceled for next year, too.
And finally, Craig saying it's going to happen next year, also due to the lack of competence and ability to finish. And Monica actually rounding it up. That is so pathetic. We know if you're watching us right now and you're just getting the deets or the information on this story, you got something to say too. We want to hear from them, Nicole, on Facebook. That's how we do it, right?
That's right.
Every night. Hey, New Mexico State University's Tough Enough to Wear Pink fashion show broke an attendance record today at the Pan Am Center. Also from the New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, 900 people showed up to support breast cancer survivors and raise funds for research. It was an honor to MC the event for Estela Acasas and Hillary Florin. We are putting together a slideshow of that event. Just go to KVIA.com and check it out. I did that a couple years ago with Hillary Florin, and wow. And plus, I'm a New Mexico State Aggie, so of course, what a great crowd out there. Good job, everybody. Hey, the borderland, though, proved to be tough enough to handle a handful of hailstorms in just a few weeks, but our cars and homes, not as tough. We'll take a look at some more storm damage and all the auto repairs being reported. Nicole, no more hail coming our way, right?
No more hail, at least for tonight and tomorrow. But what about your weekend and next week? That answer? Storm Check Weather.
You better have some good news on your first night back in a while. Hey, this is ABC 7 at 9 on the CW. Don't just watch the news here. You are the news. We'll be right back.